Hey there, old school gamers. Today I'm going to deliver on another promise that I promised a few weeks ago, I think by now. Time flies. But I promised that I would get a video out here on how I have actually put games together on 5 minutes notice. Yes, professional quality games where the players, were impressed enough to come back and continue gaming with me, continue to pay me to game so that apparently the game didn't suck that bad. But how I have been able to put games together on 5 minutes notice. Not to brag, but because our purpose here at Grumpy Old GMs is to teach you how to bring out your inner greatest GM, whether you're a casual GM or whether you want to do this for money like I do. Let's get to it. Okay, now, some of what I'm about to say has to do with my particular life and being born when I was born and stuff, but I have figured out how you could apply it. Like if I was a kid now, just starting out now, how could I approach this? So some of this would be kind of like, yeah, John, 40 years ago, blah, blah, blah. But that wouldn't help you, So I got to figure out, how do we apply this? What's the lesson we can take from this? So let's dive in. So I was born in 1971. I started playing D&D in 1982. And when, I have scenarios in my head, like, White Plume Mountain came out in 1979. I probably got a hold of it in about 1981 or something. I was running it for my friends in 7th grade. If you've been at my table at all and you started a first level character in Mystara, you may have been through B3, Palace of the Silver Princess. I was running that for my friends in 6th grade. I don't have any idea how many times I've run that. I could run it in my sleep, probably literally. I could run it without the book. I could just close my eyes and take you through the rooms on the map, in my mind and just describe them to you. I'm closing my eyes right now, imagining the insides of the palace and everything. So, eyes open again. And, but the thing is, when I was back in 2021, late 2021, I got a Discord call from a gamer group in Japan, and I live in the mighty city of St. Louis, and they, wanted to book me for a campaign. I thought, great, when would you like to start? Now. Oh, okay. It was a fairly sizable group. They were ready to pay. I didn't. This is 2021, so our community wasn't quite as big as it is now, and yeah, I needed the money, so I put together a game in 5 minutes, and like I said before, they came back, they continued to play for a while, till schedules. I think a couple of them were in Japan, one of them was in Korea, schedules and whatnot. But anyway, so I just started doing Palace of the Silver Princess. So one of the things that I've got going for me, because I was born when I was born and I just pretty much had no life, I've been a D&D nerd all my life, is I have all kinds of stories memorized in my head that, and this is going to make me, I'm not saying this to put you down, this actually makes me feel old, so to say this hurts me more than it hurts you, but I've got stories in my head that were written before most of you listening to this were born. And they were kick-ass stories in the 80s and 90s, and they're kick-ass stories now. So if it's new for you, then it might as well be new like it came out yesterday, because it's new to you. And so, but I've thought about what I would do if I was a kid again, okay, right? Because, what I would do is I would recommend that you get a library in your head of some quick stories that you can do. And over the next few videos, I'm going to go into some different categories. You're going to want to have like 2 or 3 stories in every category. Just because I already had them in my head because I had no life for 40 years doesn't mean that you can't do this on purpose as a professional now. Like for instance, there's going to be some stories that you're going to want for absolute total noobs, people who've never played D&D before. And that's a different kind of story from like people who they're not total noobs, but they want to start over with a fresh new first level campaign. And then there's going to be people who they're not total noobs, but they don't want to be first level anymore either. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Maybe they want to start at 10th level, or they want to bring in a character that's already 8th level or something. So you're going to want to have some mid to high level adventures memorized. Now, memorize a whole adventure, John. These adventures are hundreds of pages thick. Not the ones I'm talking about, because the ones that I would recommend is I was thinking, if I was a kid and I was just starting this now, how would I develop this library in my mind from scratch? Or if I got hit in the head and got amnesia and I couldn't remember all these 40 years of gaming, but I had to just be a professional DM. How could I get a working library really fast? So I would look at Adventure League modules. Adventure League Forgotten Realms modules, not the WotC hardbacks, but the ones you get at dmsguild.com. They're designed to last from 2 to 4 hours. They're quick. Most of them are like 10 pages or less, and a lot of them are good. Now, they're going to be varying quality. Is everyone going to be equally good? No, but I enjoy a lot of them, actually. I was an in-store Adventure League game master for about a year, from about say 2016 to 2017, and I really enjoyed a lot of those scenarios. And they're new to a lot of players. Not every player does Adventure League, or there's a ton of Adventure League material. Even if they did Adventure League, the chances that they did that particular one, I mean, there's been like 8 or 9 seasons of Adventure League by now. So, but what I would do is I would make a list of the types of adventures that you're going to need. You're going to need one for total noobs. You're going to need one for people starting at first level, but they're not total noobs. You're going to need one for people starting at medium level, or maybe there's that group that just wants to be high level. And you're going to want more than one in each of these categories. But if you can make a library in your head of some stories that you can just instantly run off the cuff, with zero notice, no prep, just have it in your head, then that's where I would look. If you're not like me and you're not an oldster and you just don't have this stuff memorized because you grew up with it, if you're younger or you're just starting out and you need to build up a library in your head now, that's where I would go. That's what I would do. And then the other part of me being able to put together games in 5 minutes, that's what our picture today is supposed to represent. There's the blue-haired elf that represents me, because my first character was a major character, was not a little kid character, but my first character I got when I was like 16 that was like a major character of my gaming life was the blue-haired elf. So that's me running around with all the clocks and everything in a game going in 5 minutes. But the virtual tabletop that I use is Owlbear Rodeo. And Owlbear Rodeo makes it absolutely possible to start a game in 5 minutes. Roll20 and Foundry and some of these others, I'm not going to dog them or anything. I'm not going to say that they're bad or anything. It's just that they require a little more intensive prep, shall we say. They require a lot more prep time. I don't think I could just, without any maps loaded in, without, zero prep time. So I'm talking about 5 minutes. I'm talking about zero prep time. Get an adventure going. If you're going to be a professional game master, you get one of those Discord calls from Japan or whatever, like I did. Or there have been some, that's the most dramatic story to tell you, but there have been other times that I have had to put a game together in 5 minutes. This is how I did it, by having stories in my head already, which if you don't, that's where I would look. I would look at Adventure League modules. I can even help as I go through this, do some more videos tomorrow. I can talk more about how to prep yourself to get this kind of thing done. In your head. And then I'm also going to promote Owlbear Rodeo. I'm going to do an Owlbear Rodeo review coming up here pretty soon, because the first level of Owlbear Rodeo is free, and we know I promote and review free things on this channel. And one of the neat things about that, now I have promised that I do not review free things if they're just a little teaser or a little quick start set or something. The thing about Owlbear Rodeo is the upper tiers that you pay for, like I pay for one, they just give you more cloud space, but you have all the features. So you're at upper levels where you pay, you're not paying for gated features that they blocked you from because you have a freebie account. A freebie account on Owlbear Rodeo has all the features. You just have less cloud space, and you have enough cloud space to be a casual DM with the free features. If you're a nut like me and you run over 10 games a week, professionally, you're going to need more cloud space. Yeah, you would need to pay, but I think it qualifies for a free review on our channel because the basic free service is complete. You get all the features and you get enough cloud space to run a casual game. So we'll get to that tomorrow. In the meantime, if you enjoy our content, if you would like personal tutoring from me and some of my fellow grumpy old DMs, join our Patreon below. We are right now assembling a good time slot for Patreon-only games. Hang out in our Discord channel and chill with us, even if you're not in the Patreon or even if you're not in any of our games. Just hang out in Discord with us. That's down below. And our schedule of games can tell you which ones are full and which ones have openings. That's at grumpyoldgms.com. In the meantime, I'll see you around the gaming table.